talking about accessibility.
Well, I think transportation is one of them. For people to have access to transportation. I know that that has been cut back over the years. And, the county provides some of that and the city provides some of that. And, the city has a role in it, but I'm not sure how huge of a role. I think the county has a bigger one. But I know that that is a huge issue for people to have accessible transportation. I also think just the fact that the question is being asked, and it's probably something that a lot of people haven't thought about, is really important. We need to have, buildings that are accessible. We need to have ways for people to be able to get information that's accessible to them. We had someone here tonight that was hoping to have a interpreter to be able to enjoy the forum, and we didn't have one. And I think that's too bad. That we need to be thinking more forward thinking about including everybody. But I think something that the city could definitely work on would be accessibility for transportation for people. That could be an immediate thing we could look at.
Maybe repeat the full question again.
Yes. We know also that accessibility for those with handicaps can be a great barrier in finding gainful employment and enjoying a certain quality of life. What issues of accessibility do you find particularly pressing in Duluth, and what role can the city play in addressing them?
One of the issues that I've heard in regards to disabilities especially is our park system. Right now, several of our community clubs are still inaccessible for people who have disabilities. This is a direction we need to fix that. I mean, they're not even ADA compliant at this point. I know it's kind of expensive, but it's something that should be a priority for the city right now, especially within our park system. Because, that affects everyone's quality of life, especially if it's at a community club center, for example. But also, it's just something that we should continue to push in the community at large as well. I worked down at the depot, and for quite a while, we actually didn't have an ADA compliant elevator. Now we do. That's a good thing. We should be pushing more places like that in the city to continue to go down that path. To be honest, it's a requirement as well, and I think that should be brought up a little bit more often than it is. But I'm very much glad that question was asked, because it's something that different people bring up at different times, and we have to make sure that we try to be as fair to everyone as possible in the city. That's part of why we're a community.
Becky?
Yeah, maybe first and foremost, maybe some work should be done to do an assessment of needs on making sure that we're taking good care of our handicap and those who have difficult times getting around. I've heard bits and pieces too of the skywalks. It's hard some of the doors don't open automatically, or they're too narrow, and it swings you in the face. So I would be supportive of somebody putting together an assessment of needs to see what's out there and how can we address it. We have winter 9 months out of the year, it seems. So I pray to God that the walks are clear, not just for those of us who can walk, but those of us who may have a wheelchair that needs to get through there. So we need to do a really good job of that. I was just driving down my neighborhood street, and my neighborhood street is rather busy. There's semi-trucks and whatnot coming down my road. And I saw a woman driving or one of those motorized chairs down the shoulder of London Road. And now we have an aging population in our community, and I'm sure we're going to see a lot more people like that. And when I saw her, I thought, oh my gosh, how frightening to be riding along the shoulder like that. So if we can do some planning that accommodates our citizens as they get older, I think I'm also in support of that. So I don't know what all the needs are, but as a city councilor, if we can come together and again put together some kind of assessment and find out what's going on out there, what the needs are, we can begin to address them.